From a regulatory perspective, if you look at the NAFTA market, we're basically integrated, the three countries, Canada, US, and Mexico, in terms of meat and poultry production and trade. Generally, we import feeder cattle from Mexico, which we put into our feedlots. We import slaughter animals from Canada that go into our system. And we export inputs to the Mexican industry. We export final products to Canada. We import final products from both countries. So the entire market is basically integrated. The problems we face are related to border issues, whether it's delays at the border for retesting of product, having consistent or at least converged microbial standards at the plant level, issues related to inspection. So what would really help us is less regulatory burden because the systems are equivalent. This is what we need assistance from the governments in, is the regulators in the three countries to work together to resolve these differences and have equivalent or converged standards so that we don't have to have delays. And our interest is getting products to consumers as quickly as possible because obviously we deal in perishable products. So if the systems are equivalent, if the products are safe, there's no reason for delays. We've been working on this for at least 7 years to bring the three governments together. We have a very strong private sector engagement in the three countries with our trading partners. And we have the proposals for regulatory convergence out there. We've written them, we've drafted them. So it's a matter of the regulators sitting down and working out some of these details. We did start some work with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and the Food Safety Inspection Service at USDA in terms of simplifying what's called the Export Library for Canada and Canada's Chapter 11. And these are the rules and regulations for exporting meat and poultry products to the other country. So our charge was to simplify these documents and make them more consistent, take away all of the rules and regulations that were outdated or no longer necessary. So we did get started on that in earnest over a year ago, but it's sort of stopped now from the regulatory perspective in terms of the regulators working with us. And we're ready to work with them. I mean, we're just waiting. You know, when can we get back to the table to iron out some of these differences? Getting back to my comment about equivalency, I think we're able to work out some of these differences and procedures, if you will, because a lot of it is procedural or it's requirements that are really not necessary anymore. I mean, we are pulling up to a 950-pound sample on meat products. Well, that's basically a dressed beef carcass. So testing is done on that volume of meat, and then it's discarded. So we not only have a situation where we're retesting product that probably does not need to be retested, and then we're discarding the sample. So you're perhaps doing a duplicate test, and you're throwing away the product, which is wasteful. I mean, we should have programs in place that avoid food waste. And here we are having a system that's really not needed, and we're throwing this food away. So we could do a lot better in terms of the convergence of regulations and taking out these unnecessary steps.